Hi everyone, welcome to Frontend Mechanics. I'm Nikhil, and in this video we'll be doing another Frontend Mentor Challenge. So this particular challenge is perfect for anyone who has just learned basic HTML and CSS and wants to practice out layouts. So let us see what we're going to build. So I found this challenge on Frontend Mentor only. So if we go over here, we have this QR code component, and as per the description it says that this is perfect for anyone who's just starting out, who's learned HTML and CSS but not the responsive layouts. So if we go over here, this is what we are supposed to build. So it has a simple image on the top and two lines of text over here. This is the desktop design and this is the mobile design. So this is the challenge that we'll be doing today. So without any further delay, let's get started. To start off our challenge, we have to go to Frontend Mentor and scroll down to this particular component, QR code. If you click over this, we'll be able to see our desktop design and the mobile design. But we have to go to the challenge hub first and download the starter package. So this starter package basically has all the images, the design files and the style guide that we have to use throughout our project. I've already downloaded it. So if you download this and extract, you'll be able to see all these particular files like this. So first we have our design files, simple, all the designs are listed over here. Second we have our images, there's only one image in this, the QR code that we'll have to use. The third file is git ignore, so if you're putting your project on GitHub, this will help you. The next file is index.html, which is our main source file where we'll be doing our markup, and these are two readme files. So this is all what you'll be getting once you download the starter package. Next we can open up this starter package in VS Code, so we'll be able to get all these files over here. So this is our basic index.html file that we'll be working with. So if I preview this right now, so this is what we are getting. So first of all, we can remove unwanted properties from here, such as this comment. We can remove this. We can also remove this particular comment. So these are the style which have already been provided to us for this attribution. So for this, what we can do is we can create a styles.css file, link it over here, and we can put these styles inside of our CSS file. So we'll clear this out. Also, we can remove this content over here. So this is what we'll be working with. This is the attribution where you can put your name, such as you can put a name over here, and if you want you can link it with your GitHub. So this is it. We'll close this and we'll close the head tag also. So we are left with body. So now we'll start our coding. Before we write our code, we need to understand the approach that we'll be undertaking to achieve this particular result that we are seeing on the right hand side. And for this purpose, I've drawn this simple diagram, and I'll be explaining how we'll be breaking down this component. So first of all, we'll build a container. So this container will span to the entire width and height of our screen size. Inside of this container, we'll have a wrapper which will be wrapping these three elements: the image, the text, both of the text. So this will be our wrapper. So first of all, we'll have a div which will contain the image. Secondly, we'll have a div which will contain the main content, which is improve your front-end skills. And the last thing that we'll have a p tag which will contain this text over here. Also, if you want to add attribution after this wrapper, you can create a footer tag and you can add it over here. So this will be our layout, the container which will contain everything, the wrapper which will contain the image, the main and the p tag, and a footer optionally if you want to have it. So this is what we'll be following. Let's see how we can do the markup. So I've come inside our index.html file over here, and as per the diagram shown on the left, we need to create a container first. So let's create a div within the class name of container, div.container. Inside of this container, we need to have a wrapper. So div.wrapper, and this wrapper will further contain three more divs for image, for our main content, let's say is title and our subtitle. So let's create a div with an ID of with the class of image. So we'll be placing our image inside of it. Another div where I'll put our title. This thing, improve your front end skills by building projects. And one more div where I'll put our subtitle. So let's make it div dot, let's name it subtitle. So these are all the divs that we need to have. Inside of image we'll be putting our image, so an img tag, and we'll bring our image from this one. We'll give it an alt of QR code. Inside of title, let's bring a p tag over here and place the content, which is, I'll show you, improve your front end skills by building projects. So we'll be putting this particular content inside of this p tag over here. Okay, let me close this image. And lastly, we need to have a subtitle. I'll add a p tag again, and inside of this p tag we'll add this content, scan the QR code to visit Frontend Mentor. So let's put this content inside of it. Okay, I've saved it, and let's see what's the output. I'll go live now. So this is the output that we are getting right now. So we have been able to get our entire markup. Now we just need to style it. So let's see next. First we need to go to style guide, because it will have all the essential information for us. So in the style guide we can see that we have our layout, our colors, our font size, and the font that we have to use. So first of all, let's just import this particular font into our file. So if you click on this link, you'll be able to go through here. So this is the font that we have to use for the project. So we have to import two weights. One is 400, so this one, and one is 700, which is this one. So once you click this, go to the view selected families, go here and copy the import statement. So we'll copy this up and go to our style.css, and at the very top, you'll have to paste it. I'll swipe it over here. Okay, I've pasted it. Next thing what you have to do is define the font family for our file. So let's define it. So it's better to define it for all the elements, so I'll use a star selector, and we'll just simply copy paste this. So we've defined the fonts for our project. So let's see these have changed. Now let's normalize our CSS, and for that purpose we'll be doing the same thing in the star selector. So you see there's a bit of margin and padding over here, so we'll remove that. So margin 0, padding 0. Now we are ready to style our component. So the very first thing that we need to see is the background color. So if you see, we have a specific background color behind this card. Let's first import it. So I'll choose the body tag, and inside of this we'll paste the background color. So we'll write background. We'll go to a style guide and get the color. So I think it's the light gray color. We can change it if you want to. Let's just copy it and paste it over here. Yes, so it's this one. You can see these are similar. Now the next thing that we have to style is our container. So we'll select the container, and inside of this, let's first give it a height of 100 VH and a width of 100 VW, so that it spans to the entire screen size. We'll have to bring our QR code and the content to the center of the screen. So what we can do is we can do a display of flex. Nothing happened right now, but next thing we can do align item center, justify content center. So it has come to the center of the screen. So if I maximize our browser, you can see that this is in the center. Let's go back. Okay, so for here we need to stack our elements in a vertical direction. They are already so, but we'll specify our flex direction of column. Nothing will change, but as they were already in column. Next thing, we have to select our wrapper over here. So wrapper, inside of this wrapper, what's the very first thing that we can see is that we have a background color of white. So we'll bring this. So this is the color that we are going to use. So I'll write background, this color. So yes, we have this color, but we don't have a particular height and width. So let's set this next. So height, let's give it around 484 pixels and width around 315 pixels. We're not able to see the anything because this image is too big, so we'll be styling it next. I've selected the img tag, and just for now I'm giving it a temporary height of 100 pixels. So we can see our div over here. So we are able to create this white background. Now what we have to do is we have to give it a border radius. You can see all the edges are curved. So let's give it a border radius. I'll give it a radius of 15 pixels. Alright, so it has become smoother. And inside of this, what we can do is give all the elements a display property of flex. So they'll come like this. Why I'm doing so? Because you can see the image and the content, they are all centered towards the wrapper. We need to center all the elements, so we have given a property of flex. But alongside this, we'll have to also give a flex direction of column so that they are like this. Nothing much has changed, but I'll show you the results next. Next thing what we can do is give this image, we'll select this particular class with the class of img. So dot img, this is the class, don't get confused. This is the image and this is the image class. So both of them are different. We'll again give a display of flex and we'll justify the content towards the center. So our image has come towards the center. Now we'll select the image that is inside of this img class. So inside of img class we have an image tag. We'll give our image some height and some width. So height, let's say 280 pixels, and we'll also give the width very same, 280 pixels. Okay, now the next thing that we can see is that this image also has some border radius on all the sides. So let's give it. So border radius will give 15 pixels, similar to what we gave over here in the wrapper. Okay, now what we can do is give a margin on the top and on the bottom. So on the top, what we can do is give a margin of 18 pixels. It's looking good. And on the bottom, let's give some half of it, 9 pixels. So you can see that these are looking much similar to each other. If you're wondering where I'm getting those height and width and every value, so you can take the pro version of Frontend Mentor and you'll be able to get access to Figma files. Right now I don't have the pro version, so it's all trial and error. I have done this project and I'm sharing it with you. So these are the best values that I could find to replicate this design. So it's not that I can magically think of all these values and then input it like this 315 and 484. I made some errors and then I've come to the best possible replication. So these are the values that I found out. If you feel that you want to change these values to make it even more similar, you can do that also. So moving forward, next thing that we have to style is this particular title over here. See this title, we have to bring it towards the center, change the color. Yeah, it's of different color. This is not black. If you see it in your own PC, you'll be able to know that this is not black. So you have to center it, give it some weight and maybe some line height also. So let's do it next. We have named it a class of title, so we'll be using that. We can give this particular div some height and width and we can try to center the text. So first we'll select this particular div, the title. We'll come after the image, we'll select the title and we'll give it some height and width first. So let's give it a height of 56 pixels and a width of 254 pixels, and we'll try to center the content by using margin 0 auto. Okay, so this is centered. Alongside this, we can also give it some margin top and margin bottom. So let's give it. So margin bottom will be giving it as 19 pixels and margin top as 9 pixels. If you want, you can use this shorthand property over here. I'm just trying to explain you, and that's why I'm using top and bottom on different lines. Okay, so this is done. I've given the title div some height and width. If you want to visualize it, you can give it some background color. So this is our div that we've styled right now. Now we'll be targeting the p tag which is inside of this div. So title p. Okay, so the very first thing that we have to give it is a font size. Font size of 22 pixels. Now next we can give as a text align is center. If we do, nothing will change because it's already centered. We can give it a color also. If you see this image in your own system, you'll be able to understand that this isn't black, so we'll have to give a proper color. So for the color, we'll go to our style guide and we'll select a specific color from here. I think it's dark blue. If I paste it, it's become like this. Let's see. They're not looking same because we haven't given any font weight. Let's give some font weight of 600. Yeah, it looks much better now. So if I scroll out, you'll be able to see that these are looking similar. So I think we are done with our title. Next thing that we have to style is our subtitle. So we are done with the title over here. Now next thing is this subtitle. Let's select this subtitle now. I'll scroll down. Let's select our subtitle. So we'll follow the same approach. We'll first do the div and then we'll move inside the p tag. So for the subtitle, what we can do is give it some height. Let's say 57 pixels. I'll give it a background color so that you'll be able to realize. So we have given it a height. It was first like this, and now we have given some height. We'll also give it a width of 243 pixels. It's like this. Now we can center the entire div. So margin 0 auto. So now we've centered the content. So you can visualize this. Now I'll remove it. The next thing that we have to do is target the p tag which is inside the subtitle. So I'll write subtitle and the p tag inside of it. We'll follow the same approach over here. So first thing that we need to give it is a font size. So font size, let's give it a font size of 15 pixels. Okay, the next thing is let's give it some color first. So we'll give it a color. For the color, we'll be going to a style guide. We'll see that this is some light gray kind of color, so it resembles with this light gray. So if I paste it over here, see, this is too light for us to see. It's very light. I don't know the style guide, there's some issue with this or what, but this is too light. So I'll give you one more better value for this, and this could be a task for you. You can convert this hex code into HSL and then put it over here. So the best value that I could find for this is 7B, 87 and 9D. So if you put this color over here, see, this is somewhat similar to this, right? Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is text line is already centered. So text line, if you do center, it will look like this. So scan, mentor, the next level, and we have the same layout over here. We don't need to give it some line height. If you want, you can check that out. Let's give it some font weight now. We'll give it a font weight of 400. Okay, so this is, we have given our font weight. So I believe we have come closer, and this is our final preview over here. So we have centered the image, give it some border radius. We have given the border radius to wrapper as well. We have styled our title, give it some font weight and some color as well, and our subtitle we have given it the same thing, colors and weights and everything. So this is our final implementation of this QR code that we are seeing on the right hand side. About the responsive layout, we do not have to do it because this layout doesn't change as it was mentioned in the project's description. So if we go and inspect it, we can see that this layout is optimal for different screen sizes. As you can see, it looks perfectly alright on all of the screen sizes. But if still you want to make it a bit different, you can try that on. But this is our final preview, and this is the preview in the mobile layout. Before wrapping up our session, I would like to give you an important tip about the font sizes. So as we can see, we have used font sizes in pixels. So for this title and subtitle, we have specified it as pixels. But there's an important thing that we need to know about the accessibility. So if we specify font size in pixels, it won't respect the preferences of users. So irrespective of what the preferences that the user has set for the font size, it will always remain 22 pixels. For example, most of us use the browsers with a specificity of medium for the font size of medium, but some users have set it to large and some have set it to small. But if we specify this font size in pixels, it will always remain the very same. It won't change and it won't respect the accessibility of end users. So in order to deal with that, we need to change this pixel value to RAM or EM. These two values provide you much better control over the overall size of the font size. So I will be linking down this particular article in the description box. Please go through it. It clearly explains that why we should not use pixels. So see, if you use pixels to define any of the properties like font size, line height and letter spacing, these will not have any respect for the user's font size preferences. So it's a great article. You'll be able to understand why we should not be using these properties in pixels, and you'll be able to see the implications. So I advise you to go through this particular article first, and based on your understanding, try to convert this font size and this font size to appropriate properties. So this could be a task for you, and this was my tip for you, that why font size must never be in pixels. So give it a go and just try to implement this in this particular project. So that's it for this video. I have taken a very linear and a simple approach towards the implementation, and I hope you liked it. If you liked it, please leave a like or a comment. And if you didn't like something from the video or didn't understand something from the video, please put it down in the comment box. I'll reply to it. As for the code, I have created this repository and I pushed all the code to this. I'll link down this in the description box. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you the next time with a new Frontend Mentor challenge.